on buying a required textbook because it was too expensive, says Kevin Matthews, and will Congress make textbook free back in 2013. As college students ourselves, we are forced to buy textbooks every year, and they are increasingly getting more expensive. As a college student myself, I bought 7 alone this year, and anybody in the country who is a college student, they are buying books. So, as college tuition continues to rise as well, textbooks follow. It's becoming harder for students to afford college, and although there was an act created called the Affordable Textbook Act, it has been 4 years and it still hasn't been passed. So first I'm going to talk about the problems that expensive textbooks create. Second, I'm going to talk about the causes. And third, I'm going to talk about solutions that we can use to fix this problem. So for starters, students are going into debt, and FAFSA doesn't cover the price of college textbooks. We are forced to pay out of pocket, and it's harder for students to come up with the money, and Dean Matthews said from the Huffington Post said last month that I'm sorry. Can I look at my notes? I'm totally spacing out. So for starters, college students are having to pay out of pocket because FAFSA doesn't cover the price of textbooks. For a lot of students, it's either paying for a book that you're going to be using for 11 weeks, or it's buying food. And Dean Flores says from Huffington Post last month said that this has been a problem for decades, and it's a thorn to students and their parents every semester. And regrettably chronicalized by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics says that college textbooks have been rising. It's risen over 800% in the last 30 years, 800%. So, and the second, and another problem is that nevertheless, says Matthews, 78% of those students that I mentioned earlier, of the 70%, they acknowledge that they do worse in the course because they don't have the required textbook. And it's becoming a problem because students who can't afford the textbooks, people fail out of classes, and students who can't afford the textbooks, they are unable to reach their potential overall. So now that I've talked about the problems that expensive textbooks have created, I'm going to talk about the causes of why. So California and Texas, they are currently the 2 largest textbook buyers, and that means that we have the most students, therefore we are buying the most books. And so because of this, textbook companies are just profiting mostly out of Texas and California and other local states, the smaller ones. They don't have a say in any of the guidelines or policies that are being put out by these 2 or 4 major textbook companies. And so because also these publishers are pretty much just directly focusing on these 2 states, other smaller states are having a hard time, they're not able to textbook companies are textbook publishers keep making second editions of books. So once students that are forced to buy new textbooks instead of last year's old textbooks, and this way it's textbook companies, the publishers, they make billions of dollars each year, and so why would they want to, put out free textbooks for students? Flores also said that, why hasn't there been a challenge, or why hasn't there been a square off to these 4 major textbook companies that are, making 80% of the profits, and they're controlling 80% of the market, and nor has there been a stand up to these people who market, and they are controlling 20 million U.S. college students. So now that you know the causes of these, I want to talk about 2 solutions we can use to fix it. First is putting all textbooks online and compatible with a handheld device such as a tablet, iPad, something that we can carry around to class instead of carrying books. So if you have 2 back-to-back classes, you'll have to carry 2 textbooks. This way you can access your books online wherever you are, anytime, anywhere. The second solution is to pass the Affordable Textbook College Act. That means all of us students, we have to sign a petition worldwide or in the country, and so we would finally pass this law and put it into through Congress. And so Matthew says that if we truly do cherish affordable education and freedom of information, then licensing open textbooks is truly the way to go. So now that you understand how detrimental expensive college textbooks can be to students, I hope you understand that even reducing the price of textbooks or making them, or completely eliminating the price of textbooks is so important to some people.